Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video of Jurassic World Evolution 3 in my Las Cretaceous park build. And for today's episode, we are going to be building an aquatic area, which, is very large, takes up a whole end of the park, the whole top left of the park essentially. So that's why this video is much longer, of course. So for this build, obviously, I wanted to have at least two lagoons. I wanted to have like a big bad lagoon with a big predator, and I chose Dunkleosteus for it because I was like, you know what? I probably don't have enough space for the Megalodon and Mosasaurus with everything else I want to add. So I was like, Dunkleosteus is big, he's tough, he's my favorite aquatic in game. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's just do it. And then the other little lagoon is actually Ichthyosaurus and Plesiosaurus, which is just two calm aquatic species to fill in the lagoon, make it feel like it's more just an ecosystem. You get me? Like I wanted to have them both living together. Their lagoon is a bit more realistic. Well, not realistic, but more just calm. It's got more kelp. I think it has more kelp, and it's pretty good overall. And then we have a big Cretaceous cruise that goes through the Dimetrodon enclosure, which covers most of the zone, which is why I really couldn't go with bigger lagoons because I was like, I wanted a semi-aquatic in the aquatic zone. 'Cause it shouldn't just be aquatics, it should be semi-aquatics as well. And because I couldn't add everything I wanted to, I might even just do and another aquatic zone at a later date in another part of the park, which, I've really got an idea of how I could do it. I might not do it, of course, but I would do it just to add the Megalodon, maybe add Spinosaurus, maybe add Kronosaurus or something as well. So I'm not completely against that. So obviously this build took me a while. It changes heaps. It changes so much. This is the build where I've changed so much. The overall Dimetrodon enclosure changes shape a lot. Not heaps. The overall river stays the same, but the enclosure changes shape heaps. The lagoons go from pretty plain and boring at the start to very, very realistic, very like full of character towards the end, and you'll notice the differences, of course, throughout the build. And also the main area changed because I actually was beginning to build a hotel in the lagoon area that looked into the Dunkleosteus lagoon. And but I was just kind of like, how am I gonna do this? Like, what design do I follow? Like, I don't know what an aquatic hotel could look like. And I was thinking of that one hotel that's in real life where it's like you take a lift underwater and there's like a room with a bed and stuff. And I was like, you know what, that'd be cool. The only thing is, will they clip through it? They probably wouldn't, but I'm just like, I'm not really there yet skill-wise, and also just the fact that the building will be full of water, so it just probably won't look right. So I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to do that. And then I started building a very tall hotel, which isn't in the video. It's a very realistic hotel, more to like IRL buildings and stuff, but I was just like, this doesn't suit the theme of the area at all. Like, it's not even that good. It's like kind of built weirdly. So I was like, you know what? Like, let's just scrap the hotel and let's just, do something else completely, which is what I did. I built a Mosasaurus monument and sort of little pond area at the end, which you guys see the difference in. So yeah, this build changed so much. That's why it actually took me like 2.5 weeks in real life to sort of get an idea of what I wanted to get to finish it really, which if I had the idea from the start, I would have been done within 2 or 3 days, but it's just I didn't have the idea at the start, so I didn't finish it that early. It took me a few weeks. But after this, I will probably be faster with more builds. I have more content to pump out, because I have an idea of what exactly I want next, so I'm not too worried. So now I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the speed build and just wait to the end of the video and you guys will be amazed. So, see yous. So here we are in the finished aquatic zone, and I just want to say this build took me a while. There's a lot of changes that happen throughout the build, and some of them are evident, of course, in the speed build. But without further ado, let's just get straight into the first person tour. So firstly, we come around here to the T-Rex zipline, which just connects to the Dimetrodon enclosure with a little rest area for the guests, you know, nothing special. We go up here, and you know, I really wanted to take the new tools into use in this game. How you don't really need fences for enclosures anymore, you know. I just wanted to build a very natural looking enclosure, and that's what I did. I filled in some of the fence gaps with rocks and viewing windows, you know. Also put a little aquatic decoration here just to signify that, you know, you're heading there. So obviously we've got some benches and stuff for the guests to rest on. Then we come up to the viewing window. We've got a lot of dimension on right now, just chilling and stuff. You know, a lot of zoos do this, so I was like, you know what, I feel like it would be cool. And obviously, you know, it's a good way to add the feeder up and for the guests to get a better view. No, I will say though, I didn't make this window, you know, this is found on the workshop. I will add the share code of this item into the description of the video because I didn't build this, okay? And I don't want to take any credit for it. So now we go up here a bit, you know, just past the T-Rex. That's the entrance for the log down there. Little jungle over here, nothing special. And then we actually enter the aquatic zone. So here, our first lagoon on the right, we have Ichthyosaurus and Plesiosaurus. So I really wanted to take, you know, like I wanted to make this like lagoon look natural, you know. I wanted to make it look realistic, you know. And I've seen a variety of YouTubers actually do this over the past, you know, few weeks, you know, in their videos where they'll add rocks and stuff with foliage, logs and stuff to their builds just to make it seem more realistic, and I think it does a good job. Like this side looks really good, you know, and even that little bit of like shallow rock, you know, really adds layers and depth to the lagoon. So I really like, I'm in with this build, you know. I really like it. I approve of it, you know. Little rock area there, you know. The only issue is you can't build it in front of the feeders, which is, I mean, I guess makes sense, but is what it is. So we'll go down here real quick.
These mesmerizing animals are not actually dinosaurs.
So yeah, nothing crazy, just some kelp, just some grasses and stuff, you know, and then of course the ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs. I'm really happy that this game has better water, because in Evolution 2, I remember you could barely see out of the viewing galleries and at launch, and then it improved a little bit throughout time. It improved a bit after the first update, but it was still horrible, and then they improved it again where it was alright, you know, and it's still solid, but like in Evolution 3, it's a big improvement. You can actually see properly and stuff. And I think it's really good, man. We'll get out of here now. So here we come into a little river that follows through. There's a bridge here, obviously it isn't usable because we don't have bridges in game. It's just modular built on the workshop. I'll add this into the description of the video as well. I didn't build this. And we come down here, a little path of the river continuing into a Mosasaurus statue. You know, it's sort of really showing off that you're in an aquatic zone. You know, even though the Mosa's not even in this park, I was just like, it'll really signify it. You know, this is horrible. All this pathing and stuff is horrible. This doesn't look that good, you know. It took me way longer than it should have, but that's just because I had so much issues with the terrain, and we're just trying to make everything connect together. So, you know, at some point I'll come back when I'm more skilled and redo this whole area. You know, I do like the fountain with the Mosa and the like lake around it. You know, I think it's good, the pond. But before we go down here to the right, let's go through the Cretaceous cruise and let's have a look in our Dimetrodon enclosure. So if we start out here, of course... Actually, I won't go here. We'll get out of it and we'll go into ride. So, we'll get a bit further up, you know, better view. So there's a feeder over there to my right, with another viewing window. There's also like just a lot of areas for them. You know, there isn't much to it. You know, it goes around a circuit. This enclosure's alright. It reminds me of Australia, very Australian looking sort of environment. And it's cool, I really like it. I also like how the waterfall finally connects up with a lake. It looks really nice. So I think I did a pretty good job. I gave them a lot of water to swim in, I gave them a lot of land. All the Dimetrodons are here right now. Got a few babies. Didn't mean to click on here, didn't. Yeah. But we've got a few babies, you know, they're alright. I think this is one of the best baby models in the game, honestly, but I mean, it's up for debate. But yeah, it's really cool, honestly. I'm pretty happy with how the enclosure turned out, you know, because I don't want to do an aquatic zone with just lagoons. We've got to add some semi-aquatic animals in there as well, you know. So I think in the end it turned out pretty well. So yeah, now we'll head back over here into first person, take a look down here. So just another little jungle walkway of the rocks and stuff. You don't know what's around here, you know. And then we have a lagoon there on our right, which is the Dunkleosteus lagoon. So we'll have a look at that in a sec. We come around here and we have a little stairway down into a megalodon fountain with some guest benches and stuff, you know, which I think looks pretty cool, you know. I'm happy with the way it turned out and stuff. These steps are pretty high, so I probably should have done them a bit lower, but it is what it is. And then I've just filled it with some of the foliage planters and stuff and some benches. And now we have a double window. Of course, I did not make these, which is another good lookout, you know. No rocks on the bottom for this one, so you can get a better look. But I think it looks pretty good, honestly. Like, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. You know, I think it's nice, you know. It'd be better if some of the Dimetrodons were over here right now, but they all tend to stay together. And if they're over here, then there's none over there. If they're over there, then there's none over here, you know. And then we've of course got the balloon tour. We'll just take a quick look in that. Which, you know, goes around the whole park, doesn't really just go in the aquatic area, it goes all the way around. You know, it's a solid view, I like it, you know, it looks really good at night. So now we'll get into the lagoon itself. We'll take a look at here. This one's underwater. We can see the Dunkleosteus over there. We can see the dome viewing gallery. And we can see how I've sort of filled out this lagoon with kelp and with a big rock, you know. Really wanted to fill this lagoon in and make it a sort of ecosystem, which I think looks nice. Of course, I hope we get some smaller lagoon species at some point, which I can use to fill in some of the aquatics with, you know. I think that'd be nice. And I know we got 3 dunks in this lagoon. We got 1 male, 2 females, and then we have 2 juveniles as well. So we'll take a quick look up here.
Our marine reptile enclosure. Keep an eye on our feeding timetable and join us for an absolutely breathtaking
So you can see I've used the same technique in this lagoon as well. I've made it very natural looking. I think it looks really good. Rocks are shallow water and stuff, you know. I've added some more decorations in like the kayak tour stuff, and then you can see the feeder over there with another rock formation there and stuff, you know. It looks really good. I'm happy with how it turned out. So let's view this one here before we go into the dome. Go out here. This one looks nice. We've got a massive rock area, massive like cliff edge with a Malta decoration at the top with a cannon on top, you know. I just wanted to add that because it adds a bit of character to the build a bit, you know. It makes it feel a bit more like a theme park. Then we've got a boat over there, crashed boat. You can see a juvenile dunk and an adult dunk right there. And then over here, that goes around into the corner into the feeder right there, you know. So you never really know when the dunk's going to jump off the food because it'll go around the corner and then just jump. And it looks really good. Go underwater here, you can see a bit more of how it loops around. So yeah, of course, it is a bit of kelp, you know. The rock formation is very deep, it's huge. It goes around, you know, we've got a cage there of rocks and kelp, and then it goes around to a small area for them to sort of explore. We'll see him go there right now, probably.
Keep an eye on our feeding timetable and join us for an absolutely breathtaking display.
Yeah, see, this view's the best, but you can see him going around the corner. So now let's have a look in the dome before I give a quick final overview. So in here, yeah, like you get a pretty good look at the lagoons, small rocks, kelp. Don't know where the dunks are right now. There's a juvenile one, right there. There's an adult one. You know, I think the dunk is my favorite aquatic species, honestly. But that is also just because Shoneysaurus didn't make it into the game, so when
Dunkalostes
Shoneysaurus
is one of the
hopefully gets added
largest
back at some
predatory
point, it will probably
placoderm fish
overtake
to
Dunk
have
as my
ever
favorite
lived.
aquatic.
An apex predator with an armored head, this prehistoric hunter will patiently wait to ambush its unsuspecting prey.
So it's pretty good, you know. We've got a few dunks near. He's coming by pretty fast, actually. You know, it looks really good. I don't get why in this gallery it kind of feels like I'm in the water. Like, they haven't done a good job of making it feel different. I think it's just the audio. But I don't know. It feels like there's water covered, like, filling in this whole gallery. But that could just be me. So now I'll give a quick sky view. We can see over here, I mean, here's the hatchery, it's just covered in jungle and stuff, nothing special, you know, just goes around. Ah, man, we missed it. Missed Dunk eating. Yeah, the only issue is after they come, they clip through this rock and, like, kind of get stuck there for a second before they come out. And then you can see, yeah, there's like a little sort of cave and canyon underwater, which I think looks really cool. It's really nice how they don't actually clip through it. So, unless obviously the feed is in the way. But yeah, it's really nice, honestly. I really am happy. And then, yeah, around the corner it looks like this, which I think looks great. Yeah, I think it looks good, honestly. I'm pretty happy with, like, how it turned out and stuff, you know. The only thing I will say is that I hope gets improved for the lagoons is the fact that why do we not have the coral decorations, lagoon decorations? We have all of these ones from the last game, where we can edit the walls and whatever. But how come we can't place any coral? And you might say, oh, you're just not looking hard enough, because yeah, the corals are right here. But the issue is, the coral decorations in the last game is that you would place down a whole thing of them, and they would have bubbles, they would have shipwrecks in them, cages or whatever, you know, and the coral. Well, this one I've got to, like, place every piece individually and build the coral myself. And not even all the coral pieces are even in this game, so we don't actually have a lot of options, you know. So Frontier, please add back the coral, like, decoration presets from Evolution 2, and please just add them under here, because I would personally really love to see them added back. It'd really help filling in the lagoons a bit easier than just placing individual coral, you know. But other than that, that's all I have to say for this video. Next video, we're going to build out all here. Probably going to build a carnivore enclosure over here, I'm not sure just yet. Then probably a large herbivore exhibit this way. Also not sure what's 100% going to go on there, but this area will get filled out, and then eventually we'll make our way to the aviaries over here. So I want to say thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you have any feedback for the park or whatever, just feedback for content, just drop it in the comments, you know, let me know what I should do next. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Have a great day.